We will be building a radium release hitch. You will need a 30-foot, 8mm cord and 2 locking carabiners, one of which should be an HMS. First, assess your anchor and make sure that it is appropriate for the anticipated loads that will be placed on the system. Here we have a single point frost knot anchor. It has appropriate angles. Its tails are oriented up towards what we are anchored to. It has 2 legs and 3 loops in the master point. To begin, clip the HMS carabiner onto the master point by clipping down and away from yourself and then rolling it up for easy access. Clip the second carabiner to your harness. For ease, the carabiner gates should be on the same side. Next, flake the cord and take one end. This cord has a pre-tied figure 8 on a bight. Attach the figure 8 on a bight to the non-HMS carabiner. Now, clip the cord through the HMS carabiner and then through the non-HMS carabiner. Next, tie a munter hitch onto the HMS carabiner with the break or slack strand next to the gate of the carabiner to ensure that it will not be pinched during operations. The pear shape of the HMS carabiner accommodates the extra loops of the munter hitch. The munter should also be in a lowering orientation. Now, tie off your system by tying a mule tie-off against the munter to ensure that there is no slip when the system is loaded, followed by an overhand on a bight over the entire radium release hitch. Close the system by tying another figure 8 on a bight onto the free end of the cord and clip it to the HMS locker. This closed system allows the radium release hitch to pass a whistle test. Now, using your loop of slack, tie a daisy chain through the loop of the tie-off so that the system is clean and there is a safety on a safety. Finally, make sure that the figure 8 on a bight on the HMS carabiner is next to the spine. This ensures that if it is loaded in a dynamic event, you are not at risk of improperly loading the carabiner or damaging the cord on the gate. Lock both carabiners. Check that your anchor is appropriate for the anticipated loads that will be placed on the system. On this single point frost knot, first check that the angle is appropriate. Check to make sure that the 8mm cord is doubled, giving us 2 legs in the anchor. Check that the 2 tails are coming out of the knot, pointing towards what you are anchored to. Finally, check the master point. Because there are 2 legs in the anchor, there should be 3 loops in the master point. Moving down, check to make sure that the HMS carabiner is locked. Then, check to make sure that there is a figure 8 on a bight loose on the spine, therefore closing the system. Check that there is a bight over the carabiner, giving us 2 strands. Then, check that there is a munter. Check to make sure that the break strand of the munter is oriented towards the gate and that the munter is in the lowering orientation. Make sure that the radium is tied off with the mule tie-off against the munter, followed by an overhand on a bight over the entire radium. Make sure that the tail is secured with an easy-to-release daisy chain which is started through the loop of the overhand. On the non-HMS locking carabiner, check to make sure that there is a bight of cord creating 2 strands of cord running up, resulting in an ideal 3-to-1 mechanical advantage. Then check that the end of the cord is attached to the carabiner with a figure 8 on a bight. Make sure that the carabiner is locked.